Hello, it is me, Chirac Alabuena. Oh, I just love that. Okay, so I'm going to start this video off a little bit different. I'm going to try to get like an introduction or like a structure a little bit more. So I've been thinking about how you don't really know what Chirac Alabuena is. Like, that's like my soul name. And I probably said the definition in here, but I just wanted to like say it because I haven't said it in a while. So I learned it from my higher self. I channeled the name, and then I also got a reading from someone who also channeled my higher self. So it means I am loved and praised emphatically. And that's pretty awesome. I love that because I don't always feel loved. I have to try to feel loved. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the etheric body. I'm going to try to focus a lot on the etheric body. We're going to have a little fun with some cards. I'm going to do a light language, and I'm going to do my bowl before I do my light language, just to kind of clear out any nervousness or whatever, so I can channel a message. The light language is going to be to open the heart, and I believe it's going to clear out any stagnant energy that's like hanging around that just doesn't need to be there anymore. Because sometimes we hold on to things that are like old and just not necessary. It's like, why? Why do you have it? Why are you keeping on? Why are you hanging on to it? So anyways, so that's what I'm going to do. I got a bunch of different stuff that I want to talk about. I have no idea how long this video is going to be, but it's going to be as long as it's going to be. So here we go. So first, I'm going to start off with my cards because I really like the invocation. It kind of connects me up really good, and I like that. So I now call upon beloved source of all that is, the One, beloved solar logos, Christ light, beloved guardian angels, higher self, great spirit. Thank you for so many blessings in my life. Thank you for your seen and unseen love, support, and guidance. Thank you for directly connecting with me now. Thank you for helping me to see, hear, feel, and know your presence, wisdom, and guidance. I ask that you now surround me with divine love and light. Connect with me directly and through these cards. Help me to become centered and aware so I may clearly know the clear insight, wisdom, and guidance you have available for me now. Or for all of us, I should say. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and so it is. So how I do it is whatever falls out, and then I just read the cards. I just like it. Oh. Well, we got the first one. Energy healing. That's perfect. Physical, emotional, ancestral healing, circulate life force. That's amazing. It's exactly what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to do one more. Or if there's more than one, there'll be maybe two. Oh. Okay. We're just going to keep it at this one, these two. Everyday balance. I forgot to show you guys. I'm probably going to use this as an example. I drew pictures. It's going to be interesting. Okay. Everyday magic. Cultivate magic in the mundane, daily spirituality and mindfulness. I like it. Okay. And then there is, sorry, I got a little tickle there. These cards, my little rock cards. I love these things. We'll see what pops out. Okay. Pedalite. This angelic stone was used by shamans to provide a safe environment around them as they explore the spiritual plane. With its very high vibration, it's excellent to use during deep meditation. It can help you to reach back in time and heal old family wounds and trauma. That's exactly what I'm going to talk about today. This is awesome. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Oh my God. I need this rock. I'm always going all over in my timelines trying to find stuff and figure stuff out. Okay. I'm going to keep that one card up here. Oh, yes. I forgot. We're doing the bowl next. That just changes everything. Okay. So, my main goal, so I'm always going to refer back to the etheric body because a lot of things go on in the etheric body. Okay, so just so I can just get it out there, how I understand the etheric body is it's a body of water. We're all made up of water. I'm pretty sure I've talked about this before, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to go into more detail because I have actually been wanting to do this for some years now. I just didn't really know how to like get there and feel confident enough in the stuff that I was experiencing and being able to like explain it, because a lot of people don't have a clue as to what, like, that there's more to them than just their physical body. Like it's not just a human DNA, it's like more than that. So I drew some pictures. I am not good at drawing pictures of people. I mean, they look good, but like, okay. So I did two people because I want to talk about the energetic exchange between people. It doesn't matter who it is. Can even be family, can be ancestors, an animal, like everybody. I just use a man and a woman in this particular situation. So these are my people. Aren't they just so cute? So the etheric body is, to me, how I understand it is water. So it can change and form into any which way, just like when you hear a sound. Like you ever seen one of those videos where people like have water in something and they vibrate and it like changes shape. Even salt does that. So it, like, I'm trying to like think back of like how it can like start. It's like, this is kind of like on the fly of like how I'm trying to explain it. So I know that God uses numbers to create, and numbers have a certain frequency, and then letters have a certain frequency. So when you say words, when you say numbers, when you have vibration that comes out of your throat, your mouth, speaking, singing, whatever, it has a certain feeling that comes along with it. So if you're listening to like hate music or love music, it's a completely different, totally two different vibrations. Like you're going to be like, you either vibrate because you're already in that energy, you are going to vibrate towards that, like whatever you're listening to. Or if you just are like walking down the street and like you hear some music, and then that sometimes the music can be like irritating because it's like, oh, that doesn't make me feel good, or it does make you feel good, or it makes you feel like dancing. It's kind of like that. So when it comes to the etheric body, there are many different things that can happen. It's just like basically like living life. That's why I've kind of like isolated myself from people, because too many things can happen all at once and it can be overwhelming. It's like hanging out with a huge group of people. It's not that I don't like it. It's just like after a while, like all the energy that is like happening, it's kind of like this. It's kind of like a loudspeaker, boom, 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 boom. Like, and I need my space. And like sometimes I'll just like shut down and play a video game and just kind of like try to like, I don't know, I guess you could say like isolate in a way. Not that I don't want to be social, because I really love being social. It just depends on how I'm feeling that day. And it also depends on the people, if I feel like I can talk to them. So, oh yes, I forgot about the light language. Okay, we're going to do it right now. Ashukutnaya sukutu rakati arakasakatana. Rukutu rakatiki arakasakatana shikatorkata. Arukusukutur katiki rukutur katiki arakasakatana shikatorkata. Arukusukutur kutur kiti arukuturana. Arukusakitera katiki rukutura. Arakasakatana shikatorkata ayakatorkata. Arukusukutur katikina. Urukusukutur katiki arakasakatana shikatorkata. Arakasakatari shikatorkata. Arukusukuturakata ayakishukuturakata nayakatarakata. Arukusakatanaya shikuturakata arakusukuturakata anayakatarakata eshikuturakata. Erukusukuturukuturakati rakasakatanaya shikuturakata arakasakatanaya shikuturakata. Is there any more? No. Okay, we're good. Okay, so basically, maybe I should just let that hang out in the subconscious. It's very, very, very loving. It's like basically, all right, I'll just explain it. So what she did, how we did this is we opened the heart, and then there's like junk in there. It was exactly what I said. And then she like took the junk out and said, you don't need to worry about that anymore. You don't need that anymore. It's too hurt. It's painful and it hurts. You don't need that anymore. And she said, give it up to God. And then once you gave it to God, then she brings you back down and grounds you out. So that just kind of helps you to chillax. Makes it easier to receive when you don't have junk in the way. Which brings me to, okay, so let me make sure that I have, so just to continue on with the etheric body. So it can have, like the etheric body vibrates to a certain, it can have many different frequencies attached in it, vibrating, like your leg, one leg can vibrate one way and the other leg can vibrate another way. And it could be related to the way that your masculine side loves and the way that your feminine side loves. And something I've been thinking about a lot is, so my teacher talked about this, and I actually learned it because I can see it, and I've done energy work on some other people. Men and women both have both parts, like sexual organs. They both have both parts. So it's kind of weird because we don't normally hear about that. And at one point I did hear that there was a lot of like hermaphrodite children. I don't have the knowledge on that. I don't have all the research. I just know in the etheric body that you do have both. So men, everybody has ovaries. So, and they're kind of like the way that I've understood it is that they're kind of like dials. So you can like turn, like one side can be more than the other, and then that creates like a imbalance. So you can actually, so how I've learned to do energy work is you can turn it down. Like you can, like if one is too much, too big, too loud, too frequency loud, playing too loud, you can turn it down a little bit. Like a lot of times the masculine side is more loud than the feminine side because a lot of our societal stuff is praise the masculine, bring them, downplay the feminine. The feminine is less, feminine doesn't matter. And this is not gender specific, but in general, that's how I've seen society working. Now it's kind of coming up a little bit more like the divine feminine had to like break out and say, hey, you know what? I'm important. I'm necessary. I'm needed because, honestly, in my opinion, you can't have one without the other. And you have an etheric divine masculine side, and you have an etheric divine feminine side. Whether you acknowledge it, accept it, or not, it's still there. Because in order for men and women to make a connection, they have to have some kind of a balance of masculine and feminine. So, because I don't know, that's just how it works. Like, it just doesn't work if you. It's even the same thing with gay couples. Like, you notice that there's always a man, one that's like more like a man and one's more like a woman. That's the balance. Like, one fits with the other one. You just have to figure out how you fit with the person. And one thing I do have to like say is like, if you are, I honestly think that that's part of the reason that people become, gay or not or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to like make my video about that because I'm not trying to judge anybody. Do your thing. If you want to do your thing, you do your thing. I don't care. I'm just talking about my stuff. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is like, if your masculine side is too much, then you're going to have a hard time connecting with women because women are soft and loving and caring and affectionate, and they want to be treated like basically with kid gloves. I don't want, maybe not kid gloves, but kind of. I mean, I'm a big baby, so I don't want somebody to come over like manhandle me or well, yeah, anyway. You know what I mean. That's different. So but I'm saying like you just have to like men have been taught to like not appreciate their feminine side. I'm not saying go out and like dress in women's clothes because that's not attractive to me. I don't know about anybody else, but but still like be kind, be gentle. There's a reason they say gentleman. You have to be a gentleman. That's important. It doesn't mean that having the ferocious like man side of you is not important, because that's definitely important. You have to have both. You have to have a balance, and you have to have a way to like walk on both sides. And sometimes you have to like, I don't know, in my experience with just me particularly, I have had to switch back and forth between both, because when I'm hanging out with somebody or if I'm doing energy work, I'm so glad I'm doing it this way. When I'm doing energy work, I am, it depends on the person. Like, it depends on who I'm talking to. Like, I kind of like, okay, so before I got all messed up in that house, I was able to connect to infinite intelligence. Like, I've had the ability to do that. Just basically like tap in. What do I need? What information do I need for this particular person? Like, where's the information at? And then usually when I'm in a channeling state, my higher self comes in and she just, tells the person whatever it is, however, wherever it is that they need to know or hear. And then it's kind of like everybody's got a story, right? So like when the person is talking to you, you're listening to what it is that they're talking about, because that's the most important pieces of where they could have trauma, they could be still upset because someone passed away, or a dog or an animal, whatever. And then you kind of listen to their story, and you kind of follow, and you kind of ask questions to see, like, where's the seed point? Like, where did that start at? Where did that come from? Like, and then when you get there, you figure out, oh, this is a pain point, and you need to like unlock the reason that they decided to hold on to that. And that's what I do. And sometimes it can be just explaining, a thought process, redirecting the thoughts, or changing the thought, changing the feeling. And then other times it's like, oh, well, that's an old template, or it's an old sheath that somebody is working from. Like my teacher, he talked about templates all the time. So I just remove the templates, or I remove whatever it is. Like sometimes people have, like, how a tree has like roots and stuff, or like a seed. Seeds can have little roots in it, and then it can be like growing out like a tree trunk. And then you just pull that trunk out, and then they feel better. That's usually people fall asleep when they hang out with me. They fall asleep, especially after I get them on the table. And sometimes, it depends on the person. It's kind of hard to like condense like what I do into like 1 hour. It's more like when I first started, it was like 3 hours. Now it's like, I don't even know, because I haven't done it in such a long time. But the last one was like 5 hours. But I was friends with the people, so we were hanging out too. But so anyways, let's see. Yeah, so I spent a lot of time talking with the person, and just, reassuring them that I know what I'm doing. I know how to do the things. And it's not even just like, I don't do it because someone, like, I've only had remote energy work done, and it does work. I haven't had anybody physically do any kind of energy work on me. I do all my own energy work. And when I have learned, like, over the last 10 years, because I woke up in 2012, and then my teacher taught me Meridian Energetics in 2016 or 17, I think. I just was like, I don't even know anything about this. I just know I can do it. Because, like, I kind of had some experience with it before, but I didn't realize how real it actually was. So that's the only reason that I was even able to, like, get out of that house, like, get out of, like, the energy that I've been stuck in. I mean, I've gotten a lot of help from a lot of different people. There's been lots of people who have helped me along the way, and I'm so grateful and happy that they were there. I mean, thank you. If you ever get to see this video, or if you're watching, like, please know that you helped me. If I watch your video, or if I listen to whatever it is that you're saying, know that you're helping me. Every single time you get on the camera, you're helping me. So anyway, when the person gets onto the table, it's like a massage table, we talk then too. It's like, I don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable with the things that I'm doing, because most of the time I'm getting people who have had a lot of sexual abuse, rape, that kind of stuff. And that's not easy to talk about. So it's a soft subject. You don't want somebody, if you're going to help somebody, you don't want them to feel like you're going to judge them or hurt their feelings for having something bad happen. It doesn't even matter anyways. It's more like, I'm just trying to make you feel good. I want to shift your life. It's kind of like when you're on a train, you got all your shit on a train, and then you shift the train. You throw the shit out, you get your shit out, and then the train, like, it, like, you switch it, and then it goes down this path instead of like going down the same one that it's always been down, which is exactly what I did. Oh my God, I've done that so many times. So, let me just look here. Oh yeah, the other thing is your thoughts can hold a vibration. Like, if you're always saying the same thing, then that means that your etheric body is always holding that signature, that energy. So if you don't want, like, and you're like, let's say, for example, you keep experiencing the same thing over and over and over again. And I know we've all heard this before. Change your thoughts, you'll change your energy, and then you'll change your life. And that's really how it works. Like, you really have to do that in order to like move into a new direction. Because like, if I would have allowed, because I'm kind of like, since I look at myself like I'm water, I'm sensitive. So I'm accustomed to like what's around me, like who's around me. Like if there's a being that walks by, sometimes if I'm paying attention, or if I'm not paying attention, I don't recognize, or but if I am paying attention, if I have my third eye open and I'm looking around, I can see that there's something there. I can feel it first, and then I see it if I want to look. Otherwise, I'm not looking. I don't want to look. It's kind of traumatizing sometimes when you see these crazy ass motherfuckers around you that you don't want to see. It's like watching a scary movie. No. Yeah, I don't like scary movies. I can't. I tried it years ago, like probably 5 years ago. I was like, I had nightmares for like 2 fucking weeks, man. It was terrifying. It's just like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's kind of like what you see is what you become. The thing is like, hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil. It's literally that. Like, you have to focus on love and beauty and happiness in order to like continue to experience that. I think that's how you manifest, honestly. That's how you shift your life. And I just want to talk about this weekend. So sometimes when I meditate, I don't even have a clue as to how long I'm meditating for. And I don't always look at it like meditating, but it is. But basically what I do is I'm consistently clearing out. I'm searching around my etheric body, and my higher self, she can pull the stuff out. Even my little lady, she can pull stuff out too. And I also like, most of the time I'm pulling shit off of me, because I'm just like, God, how did that get there? You have an experience with something, and if you don't have your third eye open, your body is like, you're automatically creating some sort of like cord, or like, I don't really know how to explain it. It's kind of like a snowflake. You know what I mean? Like, the vibration creates, generally it doesn't look like a snowflake. Sometimes it looks like, let's see, what did I see? Most of the time it just looks like a cord. Sometimes it's like this dark, weird energy that is just like, what the fuck? Like, lately I've been having to deal with this super duper thick black tar shit. And it has been really hard to get off of me ever since I was in that house. Like, I have had to get this tar shit off of me, and it is sticky. And I've been able to get it off finally. So, yeah, so it's like, it can be like, how I define, so there's like, I'm learning that there's like 2 levels of this black, of my like somehow definition. It's like, you're not just human, you're like bigger than that. But anyways, like, how I define black is like unforgiveness, hate, I don't really, anger. That is my light black, and I could take a white ball, and your mind, like, okay, so I wanted to talk about this too. So, in those games that they have people playing, you see the people they got the virtual reality or whatever, it's like they're literally there. That is how you can meditate. You can literally be there in your imagination, in your etheric body. You're literally there. So like, as you are clearing things off and moving things off of you, or kicking things out of your environment, by you seeing the stuff, you're literally experiencing it as if it's real life. It's the same thing as virtual reality. That's like the best way I can describe it. So anyways, back to the black tar. So the black tar, the nasty shit, I don't even know what that is. I'm still learning about it. But like, it is, man, it is hard to get off. Seriously, it fucking sucks. You don't want that shit on you. So anyways, what I normally do with the normal black unforgiveness, anger, hate, whatever, is I just take the white ball. I create, one of my other teachers for crystalline harmonics, she taught me to use the white ball. So I create a white ball. And when I used it the first time, all of a sudden all this like black stuff started coming out of my joints, started coming out of like everywhere, and I was like, oh my god, this is awesome. It made me feel so good to get it off of me. And like, it's probably because of the way I feel about the color. So when I feel like I'm removing the color, then I'm removing that from my aura, and that makes me feel really good. So I spent about two or so hours cleaning off my etheric body. Man, did it ever make a difference? I try to do it as often as I can, but sometimes it's just like, I'm gonna go outside and have some fun. I don't want to just lay around and clear my etheric body. I'll have to get back to you on the black tar clearing shit, because like, it was multiple things that got that off. One of the things that I can say is there was a girl that I got a reading from. That I got a reading from, and she was talking to a different girl, and I just so happened to be there. And then, like, after she talked about it, I was like, and then I heard it was not a coincidence that I was there. So, so anyways, what she did is she was like, basically, she explained to the girl, she said, you're so sensitive and you're so, like, aware of, like, elementals or like other beings that are like, or other energy sources around that are just like everywhere out in public, wherever, that she just picked up the stuff because she has the awareness. And so what the girl did, or she told her to do, was to take like a cyclone and like scoop it all up and then send it to the void. I don't like that because I have determined that my cyclical chakra is the void, so I'm not doing that. I'm sending it to source, or I'm sending it to the sun, or I'm sending it to my recycle box. So yeah. And then when I was in my etheric body, it was the coolest thing. So I noticed that, like, I was clearing things off, and I've been more so identifying with like the white gold. So I realized that I have like a white gold crown with, like, you know, those royal crowns with a little T on the top. And then like I have this like white robe with like on the it's like kind of long. It's got like white sparkly gold in there. Oh my god, it's so cool. I didn't know that was there until Saturday. Yeah, so you can find stuff like that. It's just kind of fun. And like when you go into meditation, you can look for your inner child and see where your inner child is at. Because like one of the girls that I know, she got her inner child. She was stuck under the house at an old house where she used to live, where she was actually happy. She was like stuck under the, what is it, the porch? Yeah, she was stuck under the porch. So, you know, like if you have a trauma or if you're not kind to yourself and your inner child either wants to be around you or they don't. Mine does, because I love the crap out of that little girl. I take care of her, make sure she's taken care of. So, let's see. Okay. So, let's see, make sure 0 point. Okay. So I just want to talk about this real quick. So there's something really, really super important that I'm going to probably reference back to. So Jen McCarty, she always talks about 0 point. And I think I finally figured it out. So I'm going to use my people. Okay. So 0 point is when you are all the way in your circle. You are all the way in your circle, right? But you still have a connection with someone. And I was gonna, oh, here's my pen. So two people, doesn't matter how far away they are, because you can connect with somebody, they can be across the world and you can have telepathic talking. You can talk to somebody on the other side of the world. Like, for example, a lot of times, like people that I interact with, doesn't matter who it is, sometimes I can hear their thoughts coming to me. Doesn't matter. Sometimes it's their inner child talking to me. Sometimes it's their higher self talking to me. And my little lady does the same thing. She talks to them, or my energy talks to them. Like when you have a connection with somebody, you can, sometimes you can do it consciously. Most of the time it happens subconsciously. And I think that's why we're trying to like educate more. So, I just want to bring this up since I'm in this moment. There is like I'm going to write it on here. So, with the energetic exchange between two people, hopefully that looks right. So, this is I don't want to make this about twin flames because it's not, but it's just my reference point. But basically, like what I've learned about twin flames and how they connect is I think originally they start here. They always start in the heart first. And then there's an energetic exchange that continues to happen. It's an infinite energetic exchange consistently running between the two people who love each other. Whether they know that they love each other, whether they're conscious, whether they're aware, whether they're knowing about each other, it doesn't matter. If they have this connection, they are running their hearts and their hearts are connecting and it's just continuously happening, right? So then what I asked before, because I was like, well, where's this connection and where does it go to and how does it work? And so basically the way it is like the stronger the connection becomes between the two hearts, the larger this gets. So it like eventually will get like all the way down to the root chakra, come up to the heart, all the way down to the root chakra, up to the heart, and it just starts to do that flow like that. And as the two people, like, let's say they didn't even know each other and they're connected at their heart, like, or they became connected at their heart, then the more interaction that they have with each other, they have to consciously want to connect to each other. Both people have to agree that that's what they want. And generally, your heart is going to lead you. And if you decide to follow your heart, then you are going to stay connected with the person because your heart is leading you always. So as these two are connecting, their energy is consistently exchanging. So like, how do I say this? Like, so each person's energy is like basically downloading to the other person. So it's an equal agreement. So each person is participating. Each person is giving and receiving, like both. It's just an infinite giving and receiving. And you don't have to like, technically you don't have to be consciously aware to give love and receive love at the same time back and forth to each other. But it's just as you grow and as you get comfortable with each other, that's how you become one, is that. And you can be, doesn't matter where you are, you can be far away. Like I know there was one girl that I knew, she was in Australia, and her twin flame was in England, I think, or the UK. And they all across that's what I was talking about before in my other video, is all across the globe, like we're all connected and there's like this heart energy that's flowing back and forth. Whether the people are able to connect physically or not, there's still an energetic connection. And when that happens, because of that, the people that are in between the two locations, they're receiving, like they're getting, information back and forth as these two people are loving each other, because more people want to love each other than people that don't want to love each other. Yeah. So totally went off on a little thing. I wasn't even going to do that. It happened. So, that's a 0 point. Okay. So like, let's say for example, like, I don't even know if this is the right example, but like, let's say I get frustrated and I'm not happy with this person, or this person gets frustrated with me and they're not happy with me. Whatever, it could happen. Okay, so I could go over to this person and say, hey, I don't like that. I don't like what you did. It wasn't very nice. It wasn't very kind at all. And instead of doing that, I can stay in my 0 point and I can say, you know what? I'm going to be happy over here. You can figure out whatever it is that you want to do, but I'm going to stay over here. I'm going to be happy here. And it can go vice versa. You know, this person could be upset with me and think, oh, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to tell you how I feel, or I'm going to say whatever I want and say whatever I want to you. And then they're over here still upset with me. But is that going to make them happy? No. They got to figure out their own feelings. I got to figure out my own feelings. Because in my last relationship, I wasn't going to talk about this, but in my last relationship, I didn't always stay in my own 0 point bubble. And he didn't either. So it's just, life is so much easier. Like I've talked about this before, of like, you know, when you're scrolling on whatever site and you see something that makes you angry, like, what is the point? Just let somebody have their, whatever they're going to say, whatever they're going to do, live their life however they want to live it. That's just it. That's just it. You know, they're just going to live however they want to live. But if you take these two and, you know, instead of being angry and barking or whatever, which that does happen to people, and they say, okay, you know what? I'm going to figure out why I'm so mad about this. I'm going to figure out why I'm so upset about this. And I'm going to go inside myself and I'm going to be like, okay, you know what? It's probably not because of what you said, or if it's probably not because of what you did, it's because I've had previous experiences that caused me to feel this way. Or it's a thought process that I have, or it's a way that I live that made you feel that way, or that made you feel that way. And you have to like really think to yourself, what is it that I want to create in this union? Do I want to create love and connection? Or do I want to create anger and disconnection, judgment and disconnection? I don't know about you, but I'd rather create love. So if I can find a way to be at peace while being in a union with someone, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go inside myself and I'm going to say, okay, now I know some things about this person and they know some things about me. And I know their thought process for the most part, and they know my thought process for the most part. And sometimes your anger can like take over and like get you all caught up in your thoughts and your things up there. And it doesn't let you really see the real person of who they really actually are. Because you know who they are. You do. In your heart, you know who they are. But you have to take the time to calm down and say, okay, what's reality? What's real? Like, what is really the real here? Like, did they really mean to say what they said? Did they really mean to feel how, or say what they said? You know, either way, it doesn't matter. You have to really take the time and really make the choice to choose love and connection, peace and connection, because everybody wants to be happy. Well, I should say most people want to be happy. I want to be happy. I want to be loving. I want to be affectionate. I want to be beautiful and fun and funny and laughing and playing and making jokes and talking shit. Having a good time. Yeah. So anyways, hopefully that helps for people who have been in situations like that before, because I know I have lots of times. I just want to be at peace, you know? That's just it. I mean, of course there's going to be like, you know, moments where you're not happy and you just find your center, you go back into your 0 point and you say, "Okay, I don't need to like totally go after that person all the time. You know, like I need to express how I feel and say how I feel and let them know, hey, you know what? You said this or you did this. I didn't really appreciate it. Can you try not to do that? Or can you try to like, you know, figure out a different way to do that?" Or, you know what I mean? You just kind of come to a conclusion of like an agreement, and it has to be both people agreeing. Like sometimes it's like, sometimes I feel like if I step too far out of myself, then I'm like, whoa, I don't like the way that feels. I've talked about this before too. It's like kind of like giving your love away because you like gave too much away. And then that doesn't make me feel good. That makes me unhappy. And so if I'm not happy, like I have to make sure that I'm happy. So I'm going to get my stuff. I'm going to keep my stuff. So like, it's kind of like I walk around in like this space where it's like there are certain things that I will give, certain things that I will do, but like other times it's like, you know what, that's that for me right now, the where I'm at, this is what I can do. And even if the person like is like, I can't really do that for you right now, but you know, maybe later I can do that. Maybe later I'll feel more comfortable. Maybe later I'll be more at ease with that. And you know, maybe if you just hold my hand and walk with me and see where I'm at and see where my love is at, then we can grow that. And then it'll eventually turn into something that you are really wanting, instead of like trying to like drive a buggy or a cart push me along or push the other person along. It's kind of like if you move too fast, then you miss the flowers on the way there. Okay, hopefully that made sense. I think I said it right this time. Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I want to talk about this. So when I go out dancing, let me rephrase that. When I go outside on my country dirt road, or it's not even dirt, but anyways, my country road where all the trees are and the deer and like the land and everything, I go out there and after a while, like, so this is what kind of started me with light language, because I watched Daniel Scranton and he does like, he channels the Arcturians all the time, and like he does like these symbol, like he does this and then he does this and then he does this, and so like I was feeling good, I was feeling happy, and this was few years ago. How many years ago? I was probably like 4 years ago. Either way. So I was just like, all of a sudden I just was like, you know, I put my arm up and then I put this, and then I started doing like other movements and stuff. Like I was just trying it out because I wanted to do light language. That was like the whole point of it. And so now I realize that there's like, there's even like mudras. I'm learning about mudras like that make you feel a certain way, that actually release energy. So there's like certain movements that you can do that you can help yourself to relax or to move your energy into a new direction. So I forgot why I was saying that. Got all caught up in the mudras. Oh, I remember. Okay, so got an itch. So when I was out, this song came on. I'll link it in the description. It was called You and Me. And it just like, it kind of like took me back. So like I have Native American in my family, and I know that Native Americans stomp on the ground, but I never knew why they stomped on the ground. I mean, like, I have my own interpretation. I never did any kind of research, but they do the dance and the way that the voices that they use or the sounds that they make and stuff is kind of like, why do they do that? There has to be a reason, So, anyways, like, I just kind of get into a dance, and normally I dance like like regular people. There was nobody around, I promise. I was all by myself. But anyway, so like I just kind of like I really so I know it says in the Bible that when you walk on the ground, it's kind of like you own where you walk. So that's what I do. Everywhere I go, I own wherever I walk. And so this weekend, I was able to get into a high enough like state of mind and dancing, and I haven't been like that since last year. So it really, really, really made me feel really good to be able to be free and just like do whatever and do my little spinning around. I know. So anyways, so I did this like I just kind of like felt the music, and it just like the way that it made me like it was kind of like a power of like a roar of like I'm here, like, you know what I mean? Like, stomp. And so I started to like stomp. And like a lot of times, like when I would do energy work, and honestly, I don't know if anybody else has ever done this before, but like I can feel the difference between, I did a lot of energy work in that town. I think that's why I'm so sad. Because like, not really so sad, but like sad that I don't have my house anymore because I'm like not there anymore. So I just like parked in this little like area where you can park, and then I walked my normal route of what I used to walk, kind of bringing me back home so I can feel happy again because I got all fucked up last year and it really fucking sucked. Like I'm still recovering from stuff. Like it's like every time I go to sleep, every time I like close my eyes, it's like I have this like thought process of like, is there something there? Am I gonna experience this shit again? So I'm getting better, but it's still every night, But anyways, so I did my walk up the thing, and at first my body did not want to move. I heard the music, but I did not want to move. It took me I kind of had to force myself to a little bit as I'm walking. But it's kind of like I have to walk through like the I have to walk through all the houses and the trees and stuff and then get out to the road. And that's what I had to do with my house. So I kind of like wanted to have the same feeling. So I realized throughout the years of dancing that I can take my consciousness and like you can become your higher self in a matter of moments, like seconds, minutes, milliseconds. Like you can be your higher self in a moment. You can see yourself and you can go down into the earth. And like one of the things that I would do is like I always wanted the people to feel the energy, feel the love of like how I feel when I'm in that moment. So like I would take the energy in my hands and I'd go down into the earth and I'd go like this. And it just kind of like is like a flow of like, hey, you're feeling my flow, And then like sometimes it'd be like little whatevers or you know what I mean? Like just whatever I feel like in the moment. So anyway, so I was listening to this song and it made me feel like stomping, and I've been dealing with all this like just came out of nowhere. Okay. Anyway, so I was like stomping and listening to the song, and it was just kind of like how it made me feel. Like I wanted to feel like how powerful I am. So like I started stomping, and then I started looking around because like I think about the earth and how does the earth feel, and like what does the earth need, and what does the collective consciousness need. Like my higher self can go up into the collective consciousness and play some music up there, and everybody gets to feel the sound, or else if they don't, if they get to feel the vibration of the sound. So like even if you are not audio, you know what I mean, like aware, your antennas or your energy body can still feel the energy of that, especially in the collective consciousness, because everybody's going up there all the time. So anyways, I was stomping and and I saw this like black shit underneath. And like, the earth is dark down there because it's dirt. But then I was like, this black shit needs to get the fuck out of here. So I started stomping and breaking up the black stuff. And then I'm like, well, what could I put down there? And so I put water down there. Like I just saw, all of a sudden I just saw water. And then I was like, oh, this is so cool. Like I can have water underneath me. And then so I saw the water and then it turned like this hint of blue. So now I have blue water underneath me. And it's in your consciousness. So you get to experience like it makes me feel good because like I have been on fire, like raging for like over 6 months. Like I've been super pissed off for over 6 months, like raging. And it's not like my ex didn't make me rage, but this living in that house made me absolutely rage. Like I went through screaming in my car. And I am not living my life that way. I do not want to live my life that way. That's not who I am. That's not the way I am. I do not want to be that way. I do not want to be angry like that all the time. I'm not trying to be raging all the time. So I need peace. I need love. I need water. And like, I need something to put out the fire a little bit, you know? So whatever puts out the, I mean, it's like, you can see it like it's all lit up. So it must be like a hair or something. So, anyway, so I'm really, really happy. Like, it just gives me like a different kind of vibe of like water. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just kind of, it's refreshing on my feet. That's what I'm saying. It just makes me feel good. Like I got my feet in the water and I'm safe. I'm okay. So I did that. And then I noticed that I had like this like glass ceiling. And what's interesting is like, I never saw that before. And it's kind of like somebody's like, it's like an energy of another, like that made me think or feel like I can't go above that. And no, I'm going up and I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up. So I like broke the glass and got rid of the glass and like, you know what I mean? Like when you open your third eye, there's so much stuff that you have already created in your like, in your toroidal field, I think is what it's called. In your space, in your etheric body, in all of your stuff. You know what I mean? In your bubble. And the reason that I put, okay, so the reason that I put, okay, so you see these little dots, the little dots on the feet and up here. So every place that you have a chakra, okay, in general, okay, where we actually have 12 chakras. So like if a person only has 7 chakras, right? We actually don't have 7 chakras. We have way more. But let's say like this person has like 45 or 50 chakras or something, and they're interacting with this person. And as they're interacting between the two, they start to feel the energy and it starts to like download and like you start to like activate certain areas. It's only what you can activate, what you can handle. You know what I mean? Like your heart knows before you know. Like it's like your heart knows way before your ego knows. And that's when the ego's like, hey, what are you doing? Don't do that. I don't like that. Don't make me feel uncomfortable. I'm comfortable in this place. Don't make me get out of it. And that happens to me all the time. I kind of let myself fight myself a little bit because sometimes I just gotta throw and get it out, and then I'm done with it, and then it's over. And then I release and surrender and allow the feeling, the good feeling happen. And so the one that I've always been used to. But anyways, so what I was going to say is the meridians are, so in your, okay, so you have a chakra system, at least 12. And if you are connected to me, then you're downloading the chakras. And believe me, it is a breath of fresh air to have that many. It's very, very, very refreshing. It's like, it's kind of like going for a swim. Yeah, it's nice. It's breathtaking. And that's another thing I wanted to talk about is like the etheric body. So, what's her name? I can't remember. It'll probably come to me. Anyways, there's a lady that I watch, Patricia. Twinflamesmerge.com, I think. Yeah, Patricia. I don't remember her last name, but anyway, she talks about what does she call it? The light body? Yes, the light body. Okay. So the etheric body is the light body. Like, so as you're downloading information, you're downloading it into your etheric, into your light body. So your light body and I'll have to do a little bit of research, but my assumption is that your light body is the same as your etheric body, but your etheric body has to download. Yeah, that's how it is. Your etheric body has to download your light body. So as you're bringing in, okay, so like, I don't know if you can see it or not. Okay, so there's like a pillar of light. So the pillar of light, and then mine's not as big because I've been raging. But I kind of lost my connection to God a little bit, and it kind of sucks. So I'm like working it back in. But anyways, so if you have like clogs, like don't pay any attention to that. That was an accident. I didn't mean to do that. Or maybe it isn't an accident. I don't know. But either way. But anyways, this is a perfect example. If you have something like going on in your solar plexus, like I do actually, I struggle to stay in my power because like that's why I say to stay in the 0 point and stay in peace, because then I can stay in my power and I feel good. But anyways, if you give your power away, like let's say this person gave their power away somehow. I don't know how they would, because yeah. But anyways, somehow they gave it away. And so then they kind of have a block there. And then you can't really breathe if you're like got all this shit all over you. It's like you can literally breathe in your entire body. And if you cannot breathe in your entire body, then you have to like let's say you're having a knee issue or a foot issue or something, then that means that there's a block there. There's pain there because your kundalini is running through your entire body. And before I go any further, I just want to make reference really quick. This book. So one of my other twin flames that I know, he recommended this book. I don't really talk to him anymore, but this is a really good book. And I just randomly decided to open it, and it just so happened to open to this page. And it's talking about, let's see. Okay, no, that's not what I wanted to. Well, this is what I'm talking about, but that's not. I'm just thinking of what I wanted to show you. The prana tube. Okay, so the prana tube. So it talks about the prana tube in here. I recommend you getting this book because there's way too much information. It's way too psychic for me to even, or scientific. I meant to say scientific. But anyways, like it talks about the brain, it talks about gamma waves, and like it just is like, it's amazing. It's like exactly what I'm talking about today. So anyways, get this book, Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza. He's a really smart guy. So anyways, that's what I'm talking about. Like all your like, it's like God particles coming down. So the God particles are like coming down and they come in, and like your heart allows the God particles to come down in, and you want it to come down. And actually what I do whenever I go out dancing, because like it's like there's like certain songs that I just think about God, and I'm like I'm like God, you know what I mean? And then I bring in the God light codes down through all the way down to the core of the center of the earth. And that's where the crystalline grid is. There's also a crystalline grid up there a little bit. And then there's a universal grid too. That's around here. So I forgot why I was talking about that now. Okay. Well, anyways, know that if you have any like blockages, all you got to do is go into meditation, open your third eye. You can use incense that help you to open your third eye, and you can use rocks that help you to open your third eye. You can also use breath work. I haven't tried breath work because the first in 2012 when I first woke up, I could see, and it was pretty shocking. Well, it wasn't as terrible as it was this last time, what I saw. But I mean, it's kind of like the DNA and the energy around where I lived did not feel very good. So it was hard for me to stay grounded. So my third eye stayed open, and I didn't know how to, open and close anything at that time. I was brand new to this stuff. But anyways, when you're laying down or sitting or whatever you want to do, listen to some, they even have music that you can play that'll open your third eye too. Opens your pineal gland, and then you can see through your third eye, and you can just look around. I learned that I needed to specifically look at what I wanted to see. Like if I want to see like what's going on in my solar plexus, I'll specifically look at my solar plexus. And like in the etheric body, you have like, well, let's use the heart. Let's say you want to go in your heart, and like my heart's pretty big. Yeah, it's pretty big. It's like way out here. But anyway, so you can go in your heart. Like a meditation that I did with Maida, she was one of the people that I have gotten to know in our soul family. She said to go down in some stairs. So I have a spiral set of stairs, and so my spiral set of stairs goes all the way down to my root chakra. So there was this one time, I'm just gonna talk about it quick. This was the first time I ever had a super awesome experience with my new man situation. And so I told my inner child, because I was in the bathtub and I was just relaxing, and I told her to go down into my heart because I just wanted to meditate. I just wanted to relax. I didn't want to be like freaking out. I'm taking a bath. I don't really, whatever. And so she went all the way. I was like, where is she going? She's going all the way down to my root chakra. And I was like, fuck. And then all of a sudden, like I felt his energy like come at me. And then I was like, whoa, what the fuck? And then he picked her up and brought her up to my heart. And it was so sweet. And I was like, oh, so cute. Yeah, so it's really awesome. I mean, you can have like any kind of experience that you want to. Sometimes they just kind of happen and they're just so beautiful. So let me make sure I'm done talking about all the things I wanted to talk about. Okay. Oh, yes. This thingy. Okay, so there's a lady. Okay, so in the Matrix they talk about plugging in to the Matrix. Okay, so I'm not going to make any recommendations. Okay, so everything I say, you do that at your own risk, I guess you could say. At your own decision, because I'm not participating in that because it's pretty scary. So anyways, this thingy that I removed, and then I saw this shit, which I don't think it's related to seeing all this shit. I think it's just I just got totally traumatized by the whole entire experience. So like probably if somebody else did it, it would be a totally different thing, because not everybody's the same. I was not in a good place, and I didn't know any better, and now I do. So anyways, there's this lady I just randomly came across my feed. It probably wasn't random. But so she talked about it, and she calls this the mouth of God. What the fuck? I mean, technically we're all, we all embody God. It just depends on how much you want to embody and how much you want to bring to other people. So anyways, she said, don't let anybody touch it. Don't let anybody do anything back there. So when I removed that, I had a bunch of nasties around me, and it was not a clean house. I mean, I had to clean a lot of shit when I first got there. I couldn't take it. I was like, wow, this is way below my, like everything. I'm not trying to talk bad about somebody if they don't have whatever, but yeah, it was just too much. I had to clean the walls. It was everywhere. It was like it was never, ever cleaned. So you can only imagine. And that's something that's important too. That's why this says in the Bible, the cleanliness is next to godliness, right? So like the cleaner your space is, the cleaner your energy is, the cleaner you don't have these dust bunnies around. And by the way, those are real. Who knew? But anyways, this lady, she talked about this chakra back here. And when I was there, I had these, they were talking to me back there. They were trying to use my throat chakra. The girl or whatever, she was trying to use my throat chakra to command my energy body and my mind so that, I know this sounds probably crazy, but it's true because like I've had to like pull so much shit out of my throat chakra and off my head. Like it's just crazy the things that I found. I don't even want to talk about it on camera because I don't want anybody to think I'm nuts. But if you have your third eye open and you can see, you'll probably understand a little bit more about what I'm talking about because it'll make a whole lot more sense. So anyways, the lady, she talked about the things that I experienced and I was like, unbelievable. Like there is not another person in the world that had the same experience. And she wouldn't even talk about the experiences that she had like I just did. Like she was like, don't let anybody touch it. Don't let any negative energy go there. And like, that's exactly what happened to me. So anyways, make sure you're in a very like secure, safe place if you decide that you want to take that out because your life will completely change after that. I wish I would have taken it out in a more safe place because I just didn't know that I didn't know what was going on with that. And I'm sure like after a while I'll get a little bit more information about it and it'll be all right. But, you know, it was pretty traumatizing at first. A lot. So, anyways, let's see what else I got. Just remember, okay, so I'm pretty much done. I don't think I have anything else. So just remember that when you're talking, your entire energy body is listening. Whether you have your third eye open or not, it doesn't matter because your third eye makes it so that you can be more aware. I just can't figure out what that is. God. Okay. So, your energy body is aware, and when you're speaking, other people's energy is aware of what you're saying and what your tone is. It doesn't matter if they're consciously aware or not. They are energetically having an experience no matter what. And sometimes it's not even about like what you said. It's like that triggers them. Like maybe the words triggered them or maybe the tone triggered them, but like what their experience is basically their life experience. Like maybe somebody else in their life, you know, tried to tell them something and they got mad about it. So it's really not personal. You know what I mean? Like it's not related. You're just the person that delivered the message. You know what I'm saying? So like if they get upset about it, they got to figure out, okay, why did I get mad about that? It's not really because of what she said or what she did. It's more like, you know, what happened to me that would make me feel that way? Am I in my ego? And then you check your ego. Am I in my heart? Do I have my heart open? Is my heart open? Did my family train me a certain way, or did society train me a certain way? Do I have I don't really like the limiting belief, you know, like that's a thing too, where you like have this like tunnel vision where you can't look outside the box. I mean, I'm hanging out outside the box all the time. I do live in a box, which is my apartment, but I like to be free to feel how I want to feel, to be how I want to be, and to express how I want to express. And I give myself structure. It's like, obviously I'm not going to play my music loud all night long. That's just an example because I don't ever do that. But like, you have standards of like respect for other people's space and boundaries, you have to do that. So anyways, I think I'm pretty much done. I don't have any other stories I can think of. Do we have anything else? Okay, my little lady says, okay, so I said, do we have anything else? And she said, yeah, I just want to say how happy I am to be doing this video. It makes me feel safe to know that people who love me are listening. And that's it. She's so cute. See my response? I feel so loved and I feel so appreciated, and like, you have to it's a compromise. You have to do it together. Oh yeah. Okay, I got one more thing. So Mel, my teacher, talks a lot about negotiating. You really have to negotiate. It's kind of like you're negotiating with yourself. I know it probably sounds funny, but you have to negotiate because sometimes like your energy can be stuck in certain ways, certain places, or your energy like from the old ways of doing things, the old ways of being, it wants you to stay stuck. It wants you to stay there. Like, no, don't change. What do you mean? What? You are happy here. You like it here. What are you talking about? Don't change. No. And that's how the world is. That's how we've been doing it. That's not it. You got to let go of that shit and come up here and get together. That's what you got to do. But anyways, you have to negotiate with that energy. It's kind of like, okay, so like, I'm going to use my little lady as an example. I'm trying to think of something she wanted to do, and I didn't really feel like it. Sometimes you just kind of have to listen, because sometimes she knows what is necessary. Okay, so I don't want to use that. Nope, I'm not using that one. Okay, I'll use this one. So I got a vision of picking up my new man at the airport in a blue dress. But I was like, I have a blue dress, but that doesn't look like the blue dress that's mine. That's like a different one. But I only have one. And so I was going shopping or whatever, like 2 or 3 months ago. And I had gotten the vision like, what is it, May? I probably got the vision in like February. Yeah, it was February. And so I was like, okay, this is interesting. So I was just going shopping. It was probably like March, I think. I wasn't even going to the mall. I wasn't going to the mall. My little lady was like, I want to go to the mall. I'm like, all right, fine, we'll go to the mall. Just walk around, have a good time. And then we went to JCPenney's, and I was like, well, I really like their dresses. I wonder what kind of dresses that they have. And I did not have the blue dress in my anything at all. Just didn't happen. Wasn't there. So I was just like, I like wearing dresses. So like I was looking for the dresses. And so I go over to that section, and like right in my vision as I'm walking out, this awesome blue dress. I was like, this is my style and everything. It's awesome. I gotta try it on. So I got it. But it was totally random. Like, I was like, I don't really know like what this means exactly, but and then now I'm buying a blue dress, It's pretty awesome. So I'm saying like you have to listen sometimes, because sometimes you're being guided to go somewhere, and then other times you have to be like negotiate with that dark whatever the fuck happened, and you have to basically like, I usually talk myself out of it. Like, okay, well that doesn't make me feel good. That doesn't make me happy. That's not the direction that I want to go in anymore. Like, for example, my ex, like sometimes I get pulled in that direction and I'm like, nah, no, I'm redirect. We're going this way. I'm not going that way. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about this too. I just remembered. Yay. Okay. So this is just an example. Anybody can do this. So, oh man, which day was it last week? I think Wednesday or Thursday, I think. So everybody has a higher self, and I know that my new man's higher self hangs out with my higher self all the time. Like, I think they're like hardly ever apart. And then my inner child hangs out with his inner child, and so like, yep, that happens. So, anyways, because of my channeling last week and how I was just kind of digging around, and this is the reason that I was digging around, because when I make a decision, I don't want to go, like, I don't want to sit and like think that I'm going to go that way. I want to know that I'm going that way. So I went back a little bit and I said, let me clean this up a little bit, because I need to understand and make sure that the direction that I'm going in is the way I'm supposed to be going. Because if I'm going in that direction, then I deviate and go back. Like, let's say I make a real connection with him, and then I'm still back here. Like, no, I'm not doing that. We're not doing that. I'm cleaning that shit up, and I'm getting the fuck out of there, and I'm going forward. So, anyways, that's what I did. And like, I was thinking about it, and I was feeling about it, and like, I was like, you know what, maybe I need my inner child, because sometimes she gets stuck in places. I got to help her out. I got to help myself out. And so I was like, you know what, little lady, why don't you go up into the ethers and play your little tune, ring your little bell? Because like, I can hear this, like, I don't know if I can do it, but it's like, I don't know, that's probably not it. But it's like this little clucking, not clucking. Oh God, this is not even the right word. Anyways, the sound that I hear when I think about myself is like this. It's like wooden tubes that are clanging together, but they sound like wood. Hopefully that is the right sound. But anyways, because it's more of a earthy kind of thing. And plus I also have a jingle. It's a really high jingle. Well, anyway, so I was like, why don't you go up there, go up into the ethers, go up high enough out of the earthly kind of stuff, and just bring your little thing and see who comes. And then I wasn't looking or anything, and I was like, I felt how I felt, and I was like, well, it's not much different than I feel all the time. And then I was like, it's a level of comfort. But then I was like, I asked her, I'm like, who came? Who are you hanging out with? Because like, okay, so like, I had this meditation once where God cradled me. So now it's like really important to me that my little lady is cradled. So my ex's higher self came, and I was like, no. I'm like, well, okay, little lady, why don't you try? Let's see what new man's higher self feels like. So she went over to him, and then I started crying. Yeah, it was way different. It was way, way different. I felt like safe and like secure and like held and taken care of and like loved. And I was like, man, I know where I'm at. I know where I'm going. It's the real truth of it all. So, anyways, yeah. So I wanted to talk about that. I'm glad I remembered that. I've never done that before. I never tried that out. I was just kind of wondering too, like, is there any other dudes hanging around? And then like, yeah, it was just those two. And I'm like, oh, this is nice. So now it's been more clear energetically, and I don't have to have this like question anymore. I feel a lot better that I'm moving closer to where I want to go. So, and I'm not one to be like dead bent on things, because when I've been like that before, it's kind of like it's kind of like a timeline jump. Okay, yeah, this is good. I gotta explain this. So timeline jumping is like when you basically go from like here, and then you have the timeline up here, and then you just jump. Well, I can jump, But then I got to make sure that I bring all my stuff with me. I got to make sure that I bring all of my feelings with me. I got to process. Actually, not bring them with me, but more so process them so that I can acclimate to this up here, so that I can like adjust my energy and 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 adjust my energy. That's how I got here. Cause like there's no fucking way that I was gonna get here by not timeline jumping, because I totally timeline jumped to get into this apartment. I completely blocked off everything and totally focused on this. And now that I'm here, I'm very slowly gathering my stuff and saying, I don't need that anymore. That's gone. I'm cleaning, I'm cleansing, I'm fixing everything. I'm putting myself back together, and I'm very slowly like moving in the right direction. And it's not always easy. It's kind of like the body is like a car. If you hit the gas, like one of my cars, I drove a 87 Thunderbird. If I would slam on the gas, the car would go dunk. And that's not good to do to your transmission. You don't want to do that to your transmission. You like in this car, my Toyota, I got a Camry. It's a 4-cylinder. It does not go very fast. It's okay though. I'm kind of okay with driving. I don't need to drive fast. I used to drive fast. I don't drive fast anymore. But anyways, so I just like so if it's really cold out and I'm trying to drive 55, 60 miles an hour, it stays stuck. The transmission stays stuck in like third, I think. And so I have to let it warm up in order to get it to downshift or go into the gear that it needs to go into. So if I push on the gas, it does all this weird whatever the fuck. And I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to slowly go ahead and have it like, okay, I'm there. That's kind of how I am. I didn't even realize. So anyways, I know I talked for a long time, but I haven't talked to anybody in a while. So hopefully all this information was like really good, and hopefully everybody appreciates, all the stuff that I talked about, and hopefully you enjoy my energy and had a good time and appreciate me. She said, I love you too. She said, I'm so cute. Okay. Anyways. All right. I love you. Take care. Be beautiful. Be magnificent. Be amazing. Be truthful. Be honest. Be loving. Be caring. And have a wonderful, happy day. Mwah! Until next time.